If he does get banned, I want you to request to see the ban message because they tell you why
Oh
you
my
got banned.
god.
I'm serious. Like
It's
that's
gonna be because of toxicity. Like
no.
the reason at least.
They
But
show you the message usually. At least in League, they show you what message got you banned. So I would be surprised if Smite didn't do the same.
I've seen it like once or twice. Their messages against him, and then he would fucking report people too. He's always complaining about people AFKing.
Oh well, I would just report them.
Yeah,
I
that's what
don't.
he did.
But you shouldn't get banned from reporting people.
No, he doesn't. He gets banned because, well,
Of
yeah, the
language.
toxicity. But it was funny because the last game that I watched him play, like, there were two people complaining about him, and then one of those two people AFK'd the whole game, and then everybody was saying to report that person when they said to initially report Gabe. So then Gabe was like, everybody report them, they were AFK. And then he wound up being cool with everybody, so. Well, at least with one of the people who was,
I don't play
like, mixed
competitive.
on Gabe.
I just play natural queues, PvP, not ranked. Great. Just regular old PvP. I don't know if I'd ever get into a ranked game other than Mario Golf, which I was in the top like
Oh my
2000.
god. Gabe doesn't play ranked Smite or League, though. He only plays the
Did play ranked league.
well, he's not playing it anymore.
Because I remember him going gold.
He's only playing, like, regular casual.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I was playing regular. I don't know. Maybe I have text chat turned off automatically. I don't remember turning it off, but
It's
whenever I go into,
very, like I said,
it's just
even myself, I would see people chatting in chat all the time, and I'm playing in regular, casual, so.
dude. Next Steam sale, get yourself the God pack because I put like it was $10 and some cents for getting literally all like how many gods are there in Smite?
A lot. I don't know
Uh,
the exact amount, but
117. It was a little bit more than $10 to get all 117 gods, and it was great.
yeah, I would always use favor to get gods. So I haven't actually spent money on the game.
I used favor to buy a Cthulhu skin.
Ah, I barely lost. Did you say footloose?
I got a Cthulhu skin.
Oh. Seriously sounded like you said footloose.
Footloose. Now I need a good old fan art of Cthulhu doing Footloose.
But yeah, we gotta do a freaking like DDR on stream. Like just
I actually
dance
used to
on
be really good
stream.
at DDR. Now I
I'm
don't think
okay
so.
at it.
I'm too heavy for it. It takes a very specific like you need really good calf muscles.
To be honest, I was still better at using the controller.
Oh, did you see the Taiko game that they added to Game Pass?
You told me to check it out, but I didn't check it out yet.
I don't see it on our end. Maybe it's only locally in Japan, so I
Hmm.
mean, use that good old VPN.
Good old VPN.
Because I want to go pa 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 pa. I don't think I'd buy the drums
But
unless I got
I
really into
want
the
the
game.
drums so badly. Anytime they had the convention, the
Hmm.
anime one, fucking
It's always amazing to watch.
that was my favorite game to play there.
The walls are too thin in my house that like that'd be so fucking annoying to everybody for me going.
Thankfully, nobody really gives a fuck here.
Well, I think you guys just have like thicker walls. There's also like
Probably.
concrete
Plus,
between your ceiling and floor.
we also have the mesh on the walls.
Yeah,
Because we bought each of those things. I think that they were like $40 each, and we bought like 6 of them.
nice.
So we wound up getting all of them for like $200. Which, yeah, we still need to have you over. We need to have everybody over still. Um, so I keep thinking about that, like wanting to
It will
have
happen.
people over again.
It will happen. There's just been a lot of stuff like between the holidays, and then you guys weren't feeling well, and or everybody else just not feeling well or dying in some horrific way.
Dying on the inside.
Yeah. I'm grinding Pokemon tonight. I'm going to like literally turn off everything and just focus on Pokemon because I got through the tutorial and that's about it. But that took me a good 6 hours to do,
I
even though it
gotta,
was like 1 hour.
I gotta see if I want to stream Pokemon or not. 'Cause I,
If you do, I would recommend playing it as soon as you can off stream and making it your off stream game and then streaming like challenges like, oh, you're trying to find a shiny.
yeah. So I am waiting for the game to arrive because, I want the physical version, plus it's actually $5 cheaper physically at the moment.
Yeah. I don't see why they don't. It's like if you buy the physical version, why not just give you the key at this point?
Yeah.
Just give you the key.
I wish. That would be a good idea. Just give you both.
Because there are very few games that do that. Or it's like you bought the pre-order. It's like you're going to get a physical copy, but here's the key. So you can
Yeah.
play it minute one. But it's very few games. I'm pretty sure I can only count like 2 games off the top of my head. And I can't even remember. Like, I remember that for some game. Where it's like, it's coming tomorrow, but here's the key for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have to wait until like February 4th or something.
Damn.
Because I just ordered it last night. I can't remember where it was. That was giving away an Arceus plush.
Aw, that's cute.
Yeah. I was too late to get it anyway because I've been so mixed on actually getting it. Like
Yeah, me too. I want to get into Pokemon again. That's the thing. Like I'm not a big Pokemon person. I really mainly only play like spin-offs. Like I played Mystery Dungeon, Coliseum, and stuff like that. But that it really like I played Pearl and then Platinum and then Y. I really only played like 5 or 6 Pokemon games really.
Aside from the ones on the 3DS and like the free games, like there's the cafe Pokemon game, Pokemon Shuffle, all that. Aside from those, the only Pokemon game that I've been interested in playing before Arceus was Let's Go. And
Yeah, the Let's Go Pokemon, if you weren't like a young person who was playing Pokemon for the first time, a lot of people played that game for like challenges wise.
yeah.
Like the biggest content from Let's Go was like shiny hunting or Nuzlocke.
People also have speedran it. They speedran it at one of the marathons. Because I'm interested in it, so I could like take my content elsewhere because playing Pokemon Go and then transferring it to Let's Go and vice versa. I think that's really cool.
Pokemon
So-
Y. Pokemon X and Y was a really good time.
Ah,
I don't know how I can describe it, but like its meta was like really cool.
so I was playing Pokemon Y like a year or two ago, and it was just really hard for me to get into it. Um,
I loved getting into it with Gabe. Like, get him back into Pokemon Y. Like, that was like I loved watching him like explain to me like, the breeding,
mhm.
and I never really got that deep into it. But he was like into like he was running some fucking like Pokemon like puppy mills type of shit. It was crazy. Um, but yeah, I remember that. Uh, God, it must have been in our like junior year of high school
Mm. So I
or my
never
junior year.
understand breeding or EVs or IVs. Like I look up about it and I still don't fucking get it.
Just because in X and Y it had different things where it had that like that 5 pinned chart of like you have to care about its mood and its like strength and speed and like personality and shit. So you were like trying to find like the meta for each, like what is the best like mood temp like personality like everything for like a very specific breed of Pokemon and for what they're used for.
Mm-hmm.
So because I remember him very specifically uh breeding a Honedge, and it was like taking him like weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like really invested in watching that happen. I played Pokemon Moon. I liked it, but
That was one of my favorite Pokemon games. I got really into it and I have wanted to speedrun Pokemon Moon because I just find it more unique with the trials.
with they had the remakes of them immediately the next year where they
Yeah, I didn't get those.
you should if you do play it, just play those because like I was like so disheartened by playing it. Like I was just like, really, they made a remake of this game and then just kind of spoiled my taste of it, where they basically were like, here we actually finished the game and but we're just gonna sell it again. And so I
Mm.
just like totally lost faith in my playthrough, and I would have said that I liked it a lot, but like it just fucked up. It just I don't know, it just fucked me up when I was just like, wow, you just sold the game better. And I don't know, and it just made me not buy Pokemon until just this year. And
I
when did Pokemon Moon come out? What year was it?
It was like 2016, I think.
Yeah, 2016. So
Wow, I was right.
with that fucked up Moon Pokemon Moon Sun and Moon like decision, it fucked my like decision process of buying a Pokemon game for 8 years. That's how fucked up it was for me.
It was good for me, but it was just Pokemon fucking Sword and Shield that looking terrible that just turned me off to the series. You know, I'm hoping, of course, that I like Arceus. Interested, of course, in the concept of a more
Yeah,
realistic Pokemon game.
yeah. The only thing that's I can't speak on it. Like you'd have to ask me like 50 hours into my playthrough of like what the actual review is, because I don't feel like people could probably give a measured review of the game
Mm-hmm.
unless they like get to like the end game. And when I mean end game, they need to get past whatever like the like after you get all your badges, whatever the equivalent is in this game. And then you have to get past that, whatever their fucking elite, whatever the fuck they want to call it in this game, because this is like prehistoric Pokemon right now.
Yeah.
This is like before Pokemon training, like early Pokemon training.
Like, I have to ask one, I feel like, baseline thing about the game. Like, do the environments look interesting?
Not really, not at the moment at all.
That's
I
kind of
have to
disappointing.
say it's not like the graphics are bad. It's just that they look like they're from 2010.
Yeah.
I'm serious. Like it looks like a last year of Xbox 360 type of like environments.
Yeah.
Like it's not like that's the thing. Like I always give Nintendo the benefit of the doubt. Like because you're playing a game right now that has very good graphics, but it's not realistic. It's not hyper realistic. It's not like edgy,
Mm-hmm.
but it's using what it has to make it look good. Like it looks good. Like there's a difference between like realistic and cutting edge and good. Like there's got to be good art direction and everything. Like this game just has very bland, outdated, but not bad graphics. Like it's just very like good for 10 years ago.
Yeah.
That's all I could say. Like it's good but for 10 years ago. Like that's all. Like I don't know if that could count as bad. I don't want to say that's bad, but it's like that's underwhelming. That's extremely underwhelming and disappointing. Because like bad graphics would be like poor art direction, poor implication, like bad like optimization of the graphics engine where it's like lagging. That's what I would consider bad. But this is just like outdated.
Because it looks, yeah, does just look pretty average.
Like it doesn't even look as good as like Breath of the Wild, and Breath of the Wild is now hitting a point where it's like, okay, well this game looks fantastic. This has fantastic art direction, fantastic lighting and shading. But even then, it's like, oh, if this was on like a stronger console, this game would look 10 times better. Like anybody could say that. Like Breath of the Wild is being held back by its console limitations. Like it's, uh, but like this Pokemon game isn't even meeting Breath of the Wild standards. Breath of the Wild's standards were the flagship standard for the Switch. Like it was like the flagship game for showing off how beautiful a game could be on Switch, and it's not even meeting that.
Like, Breath of the Wild, that also came out in 2016, I'm pretty sure. Or it was,
Probably.
yeah, it might, pretty sure it
It
was
came out shortly
2016.
after the Switch.
Yeah. It was initially on the Wii U, and then it was also on the Switch at the same time.
Yeah, like a few months. Like yeah, like it was like a month later or some shit.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I just it should be hitting that standard. Like if this game looks like it could run on a Wii U, I'll be honest. And the Wii U isn't a bad console. It's just fucking, it's old.
Yeah.
Like I'm literally looking at some environments and I'm like, yeah, this looks like Monster Hunter 3.
Like, I wish, and that's a big part of it, is the environment. I wish that the environments had more than just baseline, you know? Just what you expect. Like, it should have more than just what we expect.
I hope I'm like getting my point across on like how I feel about the environment. Like it's not, I want like genuinely I want everybody, like if you don't know, like Google top most like earning like brands. Like what is the most profitable brands? Pokemon comes up on top.
Mm-hmm.
And they're making a very very like benchmark like content for the past decade. That's not good. They should be like blowing us apart with their fucking content.
Yeah. They're doing so much. Like, Pokemon is obviously one of the most prominent brands. Like, you know, Pokemon has like cards and plushes and fucking games and like, you know, all these types of off-brand games as well. Like, it is doing so much. But I feel like it's as one of y'all said, they're not prioritizing what they need to with things that they need to, like, you know, one of their big namesake games like Arceus or Sword and Shield.
Yeah. Because I think Arceus was the step in the right direction, like conceptually, just like they don't deliver in like other fields. at all.
Yeah.
I I feel like they just wanted to answer people's like demands, but in like the most halfway possible. Um, I don't know. I at this point, like if this continues, and but here's the thing, they're gonna like just try to feed it, but I don't know how. Like Nintendo is known for being like a boomer, or just outdated, or just not listening, or just generally like making weird decisions. But even them, I don't know understand how they find this behavior acceptable from the Pokemon Company at all.
Yeah. And I feel like Arceus and more so, it does meet the gameplay standard at least. It seems like it does. You know, I haven't played it myself, but looking at how much more innovative it is now compared to, you know, Sword and Shield, for example, which was just, you know, Pokemon done for the 10,000th time. Arceus is just like, you know, like I said, it's taking the step in the right direction of realism. Um, I feel like it's something that we expected probably like 5 years ago.
Yeah, I think what Nintendo should do is hire a second company or make the Pokemon company split in two divisions where they do like the Call of Duty method where they have two studios cycling in between dev cycles where one studio gets two like every studio gets 4 years, but they do it every 2 years, like the fucking Olympics. Like they should, like, these
Yeah,
studios should get like Olympic type schedules where they have two main studios doing it, so they can have a release every other year.
yeah. And the other
Like
thing is
they have the money to do it.
that, like, well, y'all are saying, unfortunately, they've always been on this tight release schedule for Pokemon,
It's not
but
the 90s anymore. You can't have that type of schedule.
yeah, they can't do that anymore. The workload is so much more than it was in the 90s.
Literally, like games have not been on a year or two release schedule since fucking I don't know, like it was starting to come out of that like at the end of the PS2 era. Like once that shit hit like Xbox 360, PS3 era, shit took like 5 to 6 years.
Yeah. Because they've always released year after year or every other year, but they don't realize that, oh, the work has ramped up. Like,
Like
that just hasn't, you know, nobody has realized that somehow.
yeah, or they do and they just don't care, like, because they know
Yeah.
that they can make a passable product. And that's the thing. Like, if they could, I'm fine with like lesser products from these companies, but if as long as those lesser products are solid, like if Pokemon did a like a spin-off series that was like maybe not like a mainline series that was lesser content, but not like bad content, like more so like less time, less like energy, where it was like back to 2D. Fine, I like that, but they need something that really makes it like the mainline content. And right now, it just feels like a lot of what Nintendo's putting off is like if it, nothing feels like a main content anymore. Everything just feels like a spin-off of something.
Yeah.
Like everything, like almost like they're making parodies of their own games.
Because, of course, again, we've had the conversation before about Mario Party, which can also be better. Um, it's just being done right now with all of these games. And there has to be a point where Nintendo realizes that they need to step up above just doing baseline.
Nintendo has so much, like they have so much going for them that they could totally pivot. Because I've seen them, they have slowed down their production, but they don't focus on their franchises evenly. They could go through cycles between all of those fucking like massive franchises that they have, and actually give them each of them like time so they can have like every year is a good year. Every once in a while, I was like, oh, Nintendo had nothing this year, and then the next year they're blowing up with like a few games, and then the next year it's dead. They
Like,
shouldn't be doing that.
in general, they're doing so much better than they were like 5 years ago with the Wii
Yeah.
U.
The Wii U made them die for a few years. Like,
Yeah.
it was crazy. But during those few years, they should have been refocusing on finding that development cycle where they could have hired 2 studios to be doing the Pokemon games so they can swap between, and they could have hired multiple studios to be dealing with their massive fucking like franchises. So we could probably finally have Metroid Prime. It's insane how they aren't doing this. They can literally like just move bank accounts together. They have it. They can do this, but they're
Yeah.
just not fucking smart. Like,
It's like
I'll be
they're
honest. Like,
progressing
whoever
in
the
some
fuck.
ways, but
Yeah, that's
they're
the thing. Like, they are, but also at the same time they aren't, and they're just not making good business decisions. Like, it also just feels like nobody cares anymore to make it like
I feel like
welcoming.
with a franchise like with some franchises they have been stagnant with for the past 10 years. Mario Party hasn't been spectacular, I would say, since Mario Party 7.
That's a lot of money. That can't be right. That can't be right. 109 billion a year. That can't be right.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds accurate because it's not just like I said, it's not just the games, it's the merchandise. It's not even just the mainline games. They have all these spin-off games.
If that number is correct, that means that they could have made 109 stellar games every year from that money.
I agree.
It doesn't cost like how much did God of War cost to make? Hold on.
They make more than
44
Disney.
million. 44 million. God of War 3 costed 44 million. How much did God of War 4 make? Yeah, let's see. How much did it cost to make? Ooh, that's the thing. A lot of like I feel like games are being a little less vocal about how much they cost anymore. Okay, 50 to 100 million. So you're like a billion. They have no excuse. If that's a real number. I thought that like 109 billion. I thought they made like a billion a year off of Pokemon. Not that much. Like a billion. That's an unreasonable amount of money to make. Like already just off of one brand. That's insane. Because like they have no excuse. They have no excuse. They could be making a Pokemon game every week with that money. I don't give a shit. You could pay a million people to make a Pokemon game, and they would make a better game than what I'm playing right now.
You gotta love capitalism.
Like I'm playing an okay game. Like I think I can probably get really into it as long as the game has this fucking shitty tutorial. Because I feel like this is the game with the tutorial that never ends.
And that's the thing with all these games. They are, and at the least, most of them, they are passable. You know, these are games that I could sink my time into, but they could still be better.
I don't know. I feel like I could pay all those fan Pokemon games to make me a better Pokemon game than I'm playing right now.
I mean, probably, but then, you know, Nintendo's gonna, like, scrap them too.
Yeah, okay, so say somebody makes that amazing Pokemon game, because I've played a bunch of fan Pokemon games that are definitely something that I would have put time into, and then they get taken down. I want them. I'd buy them. What the fuck's their issue? Like, I don't understand.
Good night, Habiba, by the way. Sorry.
I don't get it.
Yeah, like, it's not gonna happen at the moment.
Like I want to buy Nintendo games more, but like I can't be a patient gamer with Nintendo games. They never go down in price. Because sometimes I see a game and I'm like, no, I'll wait till that's $40 or wait till that's $30. And they're losing money from people, like a lot of people who would buy games at a discounted price because they waited a few years.
But so many of the games on the market, they don't even go
If I wanted to,
below 60.
yeah, if I wanted to buy a fucking 3DS game still, they're still fucking 33.99 like they are in the fucking GameStop when they first came out. Like, I don't want it.
Yeah.
I don't want a game